Yo people, and today I'm gonna be doing I guess this is technically part three of the I guess this video series is called Shortish Guys now, which sounds okay. And first thing I like to say is thanks for your support, even though there's not much of it, but it doesn't matter to me if 10 people watch it, one person watches it, as long as it helps someone, I don't mind. Um, the other thing is I'm gonna play some music in the background because I went back and watched the video and it's kind of bad when it's just me speaking. So if you don't like it, you can leave in the comments or something, and we'll see how the feedback goes. So I'm just gonna play some RuneScape music. It's just background. Anyway, so today, all right. First things first, I got my rank. I play my calibration games. You see, it's all Sand King. I think I'm like 6,700 or something. It's a bit lower than last season, but making our way up. So the hero we're going to be doing today is going to be TA because I could show more Sand King gameplay, but it all looks pretty similar, so I guess we'll save it for a later date. So let's just jump right into this. I have 322 TA games, haha, 322, 60% win rate. So same deal as usual, it's just going to be abilities, and then I do actually have an example of a game because I specifically played one TA game just for this. Firstly, Refraction, pretty basic spell. It's on an 18-second cooldown, 17-second cooldown, 17-second duration, so it's always up if you have the mana for it. Costs 100 mana at all levels. You press it, you can take 3 attacks for free, and you can also do bonus damage on 3 attacks. So you see this does plus 25, and then when you run out, you go back to normal 56 damage. And auto attacks or any sort of DOT, it was going to absorb it all. So this is a really strong spell. It helps you trade in lane. It helps you, kill people. At level 4, it's 100 bonus damage in 6 instances. There's a lot of interesting interactions with this. The main one would be, say this happens. The creeps are hitting me. Need my free spells. So, you get attacked. Doesn't cancel your blink. That's one interaction. Like a salve and a clarity. If you get attacked, it doesn't cancel. If you get attacked through refraction, obviously it will cancel. So that's useful for laning as well. Next up, meld. Go invisible, you can't move. If you do move, you instantly cancel it. So this isn't even like if you click it once, it does anything. You just instantly walk out of meld. And basically, if you attack out of it, I have to be close. You do a little bit of bonus damage and you reduce their armor for 12 seconds. And the nice thing about this is that the duration, firstly, meld lasts forever and you're always going to be invisible during it. So you can set up ambushes, like some guy walks past you, you do a meld into a meld, and then they're suddenly missing a lot of armor. Level 4, this is 8 armor reduction, which is 16, and with the Deso it's gonna be 23 or something. So it's kind of hard to use the spell because sometimes you misclick or you're not in range, and so just get used to the ranges at different levels. Speaking of which, of range, TA actually starts as a melee hero, but you can't buy Stout Shield or Quelling Blade. She's just a ranged hero with melee range. In fact, she has less than melee range. But if you level Psyblaze, it gives her bonus range passively, so that she's more of a ranged hero. So you see with 2 levels, you can hit from a decent, this is Luna range maybe, 260. It's not great. But Psyblaze is a very important spell because it lets you cleave through. And if you look at the cleave damage, you'll notice that I'm hitting for 59 on the melee creep, and I'm also hitting for 59 on the range creep. If I do it reverse, 64 on both creeps. So what this does is, it applies pure damage of however hard you hit onto the heroes behind. It's like a conical splash, like this way. I'll just give you an example real quick. So, and the split range also increases per level, but it's not a big deal. So in this example, I'm going to be hitting Axe. It does 52 damage to both axes, but if Axe cores to give himself a bonus 30 armor, and I hit, you can see it does 19 to both axes. So this is some, implications. For example, if you do buy a Deso and I'm just going to reduce his armor by a lot. Like, these are not normal items you would buy. So you see, I'm now doing 200 damage by hitting this one. But if you hit this one, it's only 172 without the Solar Crest. So basically, you want to be hitting things with low armor. This is also super useful for farming in lane. Like, you can do something like this, and then you farm fast. And it also works on denies. So this is a useful tool to trade against people in lane with, because you can splash onto them when on your creeps when they're trying to last hit them. It's very helpful against ranged heroes. You can see like it splashes onto denies. And a recent change to TA is that the refraction damage no longer works on denies, but it doesn't take a charge. So if I press Q and walk up to this creep to deny it, you see it doesn't do the bonus damage, but it doesn't take a charge. So finally, it's the Sonic Trap, Psionic Trap. You just put it down. You can have like 6 of them out, 5, 8, 11 at the 3 levels. If you let this go for 5 seconds, it will do damage over time for a little bit, 250 damage over time. And it will also slow them by 60% if you have them out for longer. If you have it out for just 1 second, this is going to be a 30% slow. So you see like 2 on 7 move speed if you just have it out instantly, and if you hold it for a little bit, it scales up on the slow. Traps slow up to 60% on 4 seconds, and it does damage. And if you have it out for medium amounts of times, it will do something in between the numbers. So that's basically all of TA's abilities. I think my game just crashed actually. That's not good. Bear with me for a second. That's weird. What else? I think that's pretty much it actually. Just remember, she counts as a melee. She counts as a ranged hero, even though she has melee range. So your Stout Shield and your Quelling Blade won't work, but the Dragon Lance will actually work. It will increase range. So this is an example of just some random game I played. It's like pretty low skill, average. It's like Ancients, and I'm Immortal. So, but you know, it serves as an example of what you should be doing as TA in game. Now, no, I was very rusty because I haven't played TA for a long time, so I do make some mistakes, but I'll point them out. You can try and avoid them yourself. So as for starting items, you know, it's just standard mid laner stuff. You buy 2 slippers, Iron Branch, Fairy Fire, Circlet, and the reason you don't get Wraith Band is because this gives you extra damage. Let me just check. The Wraith Band gives you 6 Agi, which is 6 damage, obviously, and that's it, 5 attack speed. And with this, you have 6 damage, and you basically get 1 extra damage, and you can build into double Wraith Band, so it's more money. It's like more efficient when you're playing the lane. And you get the Circlet as well, which is +2 all stats. So this is a lot more damage, it's a lot more stats. It's very good. I guess it's 3 extra damage. Obviously, I have my pool tangos. If you don't have someone to give you tangos, you can just sell like both of these to buy 3 tangos yourself. Now, the block on TA is very important because you're basically a melee hero at level 1. So it's like you want to be playing near your tower. Most ranged heroes, they don't really care where the wave ends up, or, you know, it's not a big deal. But it's very preferable for it to end on your high ground. See, this guy actually starts with Jingu, so it's not great already. See, I'm already doing some auto attacks whenever possible to try and cleave into Monkey King, because you basically bypass their armor. In this case, he's got 0 armor anyway, so it's not a big deal. But against some other heroes like Odie who start with 6 armor or something, that will make a big difference. So I missed some last hits there, but you can see, like, generally speaking, you want to be last hitting with the Side Blaze as much as possible. Ship out your salve. This you should do that on every mid. Just buy a salve with the bounty gold so that you can trade harder against people. I'm going to do player perspective for this actually. So you can see, like, I don't have to walk up to this melee creep to last hit it. I can use my Side Blaze, just focus on the denies. It doesn't matter if Monkey King gets level 1 Jingu Mastery, it's not a big deal. You can just juke into trees. Use up your Tango. Hopefully I put my Tango into my inventory, but maybe I don't care about the cooldown. So that's just a whiff last hit. Another whiff last hit. Yeah, I did say I was a little bit rusty. But just constantly try and cleave into people when you can. Position yourself so that a creep is between you and them. See, like, I've landed a lot of fucking cleave on this Monkey King already. When you do have your level 2 up and your refraction, I would just go ahead and use that. See, this is a lot of cleave. This is what I'm talking about when people try and last hit. You chase the creep that's being denied, and then you can do a lot of damage into their back. Here you can get one last hit, one deny at the same time. Try and make sure this range creep here doesn't go down to deny health. Just make sure you don't splash into it so that, see, I'm purposefully keeping it. Otherwise he's going to have a free, or like an easy deny, you know. It's okay to man fight Monkey King as long as you have 2 refraction charges up, because then he can't get his Q off, like you can see there. But if you have 1, he can hit you once and remove the, and heal up on you basically. So range creeps, perfect to splash into. You see, like, this Monkey King is taking so much damage. I'm last hitting very poorly just because of, you know, rustiness basically. But in terms of harass, you know, just constantly moving. You have really good move speed, or like pretty good move speed, 310, 7 armor. Just constantly reposition yourself into them. So he has to buy a salve here even. Try and pressure them on the tower whenever you can on TA, because if you land denies, it does a lot of harass damage as well for free. I'm shipping my double Wraith Band on the courier, I believe. So as soon as you get the double Wraith Band, that's what you should be buying. Yes, 2 Wraith Bands. This is going to help you win your lane a lot harder with the extra damage and attack speed. If you get some runes, then you can use them to harass with, I guess. So here comes the double Wraith Band. It's tangoing back up. So this looks like a... Yeah, so make sure you don't forget about your side blades basically. Just constantly consider if the side blades are going to mess up your own last hitting. Like I said, you know, I've played much better games than this. This is just the only one I've played recently, and replays expire quite quickly. So this is what I was talking about with the I guess this is a decent replay anyway, because it highlights a lot of the mistakes that people make. Like, don't let that range creep go down to that sort of health, because it will get denied for free. So let's just check the CS. So I'm getting out CS pretty hard right now. It's 18 versus 13. This is like a Monkey King favored lane, I would say. But yeah, it's going pretty bad, to be perfectly honest. But show you later that it doesn't matter if you get outlaned on TA, as long as you don't feed and you get a little bit of money, you get your double Wraith Band and you're level 5, it's all going to be fine. See here, just getting my range creeps denied a lot, but I'm constantly trying to cleave into him because he is buying a lot of salves at least, so the net worth disadvantage shouldn't be too bad. Yeah, see, like, he's 5 last hits up on me, but he's only like about 100 gold up, so... And him constantly calling salves is pretty nice as well, because it means his side lanes can't use courier and mines can. So you see, like, that was a good... He was in the fog, but I could anticipate he was going to try and last hit that creep, so I moved myself in a position to cleave onto him. Now, on the tower, this is what I'm talking about. People are going to be scared to go for CS against TA, because you're going to get a lot of... You're going to get a lot of... harass damage done to them on the tower, even if you don't get the deny, which is very annoying to play against. So here, you know, just pressuring the DD, trying to win back the CS a little bit. So he's constantly whiffing his Qs. Now here, the I bring in a clarity because you're going to be using your Q a lot, and TA is a pretty mana hungry hero. It's 100 mana per cast. You only have 500 mana pool. Don't have good regen, but the nice thing is jungle creeps don't cancel it, and if they ever try and cancel it, you can press Q, and you can also bait them with it if you're so this is the this is kind of your main kill condition as TA. Get the Sonic Trap off. You know, he's now slowed. I'm running into him, doing a lot of harass damage. The tower can't hit me because of the refraction. If the tower ever tries to hit you, you know, you can always refraction it off. So Sonic Trap placement, usually place one here just so they can't really lane, or if they walk up to lane they take 250 damage and they also get slowed and you might be able to kill them. Other trap, you trap the runes so you can see where it is. I trap top rune, it's not there so it must be bot. And I also have my boots, obviously, I forgot to mention that. Right, so if you're full mana you can press your Q just so the mana regen it doesn't go to waste. And next up is Power Treads. And one more clarity. I like to buy a lot of clarities. So here, I'm gonna try for this Monkey King, but I don't remember if this works out too well. But they TP one in, and you know a TP is good. It puts removes some pressure from your side lanes. Oh, this is where the game really went to shit actually. So this Rubik is running from me, and I want to chase him because there's no creep wave to fight here anyway. So I'm thinking I might as well get the kill. So I'm chasing, chasing. Constantly put down your traps. You don't need to let them charge because they're not going to let you charge them anyway. I get the cleave off. That's something to keep in mind. This Monkey King actually shows up to try and kill me and the Night Stalker. So there's a lot of shit going on right now. Don't forget your Fairy Fire that you start the lane with. See, I'm taking a lot of damage here. I think I Fairy Fire, I put up the shield. Try and bait the shield so that you're tanking nukes with it and not auto attack. So like, see like the salve as well. But yeah, you want to be trying to tank Void and Jingu staff instead of just auto attacks or Ricky. Oh, you know, just tank things that do the most damage basically. Don't panic. Here I should swap out my items, but I'm farming, so I kind of want to keep the attack speed. And plus, I already have my clarity on the courier and my treads anyway. So I'm just watching top right now as I'm walking towards mid. Have my Undying holding my lane for me. 201, it's going quite well. So tread switching is a big deal on TA because you know you have mana problems. You want to get into the habit of just double tapping your treads every time you press refraction. So it should be tap tap refraction tap tap to bring yourself back to Agi. Because you go to strength first on Agi heroes. It should be a case of muscle memory. Just practice in a lobby if you can't remember. I don't tread switch for meld, and I don't tread switch for Sonic Trap either. It's not a big deal. It's not much mana. And the chances of you fucking it up are like, I mean, if you're perfect at it, you know you won't fuck it up, then it's whatever. But you know, I'm not perfect, so. Now, when you get level 7, notice that I'm level 8 right now, but 7 is in fact enough. You're gonna start wanting to do some jungling because the splash will cut through these jungle creeps, and the secret to jungling is TAs. You want to constantly drag out these creeps so that it's standing in a straight line. And the benefit of that is you're going to be able to cleave them all. So you see like all my attacks are hitting every creep. So I'm like using minimum amounts of refraction charges. You know, I'm farming as fast as I possibly can. It's going to speed up your timings a lot. Just make sure you have the runes trapped. You can technically have 6 traps out at once. So you should be keeping traps in like choke points as well. If you're playing mid, like Radiant mid, you want to choke point this, so that they can't gank you like here maybe. Or like enemy jungle camps if you're winning lane pretty hard. So you can see here I'm using the cleave to farm faster. I kind of fuck it up. So the TA trap, you can press D or whatever your second spell key is to use the nearest trap. It's on a half-second cooldown. The trap actually has no cooldown if you click on it. Like if you click on the trap itself, it has an ability that has a half-second cooldown, but it's independent because once it's gone, it's like you can pop every trap at once basically. And there's also a benefit of clicking it manually in that TA, if you press this one, just to turn towards the trap to activate it, but if you just click it, it's like a techie's mind, you know. So you should always try manual click the traps, but sometimes, you know, you're in a hurry, you wanna do it fast. That's fine. So you just saw while I was talking is the ancient farming that TA is so incredibly good at. Ancients give a lot of gold, but they're pretty strong because they do a lot of damage. Luckily, TA is refraction. You can kite them backwards. You do a lot of damage. It's very nice. You can farm Ancients nice and early, and it's going to give you a big net worth lead over the heroes that do not have that capability. So you basically want to be farming these 2 camps all the time, and then trying to run back in time to get the next wave. And you want to be constantly buying clarities. This is my build path. I recommend you do the same. I get 2 Wraith Bands and a clarity, and then I get treads and a clarity, and then like a Mithril Hammer and 2 clarities or something like that. Just constantly have mana. See, I'm constantly have clarity on myself. See, I'm constantly tread switching as well, like to in and then to back to Agi after I refraction. So I'm just going to speed this up a bit because the game is going to look pretty monotonous. So Ancients, I'm checking mid to make sure that I'm not missing any creeps. But you see like constantly drag the creeps out so that they're getting cleaved A lot of bad TA players, they just hit the creeps down one by one. You know, you should be using your cleave. You should farm about as fast as a Sven, to be honest. So after you clear that camp, you know, you can clear another wave and then go jungle. So that's another. So like it's minute 12. I had a really bad start to the lane, I would say, and I am now pretty fat, I would say. I have like 91 last hits, 15 denies. A lot of these are ancient camps as well, so that's a lot of money. Here he tries to kill me. You know, you're really strong. You can do some meld strikes. They rotate heroes. This is the nice thing about TA. You know, like you're pretty gank resistant because your refraction is so hard to get through. You can see here like this is kind of a shit show fight, but the refraction is so strong that it's a 5v. What is this? Like a 5v3 fight at the start. Like the Drow shows up now, and we kill 4 heroes with it. So, and I finished my Deso and my Magic Wand. You generally don't want to buy Magic Stick in lane as TA because it's not really the sort of hero to, you know, trade spells or bait people into dying, because she's more of like a AFK farmer. You don't really want to be delaying your timings. So after you get your Deso, you basically just want to group up and push some towers. You know, just siege this shit down, get some tower money. You two-shot the creep wave after you get Deso. If you hit melee creeps from the front, you drag them in, obviously. I think I die again here, actually. Yeah, so that's my second and final death of the game. It's another 5-man gank, you know, don't feel too bad about stuff like that. I TP top. I think I try and kill the Ogre here. You know, this is an example of just like how much damage TA does. This is like, that Ogre is like a pretty strong hero, right? She's got 4-shot by the Desolator, but it's all about the timing. I see that TA has a really bad win rate in lower matchmaking. Let me just make sure what I'm saying is true. You can see she has like a 51% win rate in here, and then it just goes down and down and down and down. And it's basically just to do with timings. TA is a very timing heavy hero. You know, you snowball a lot. You don't really have an escape to speak of. So if you don't get your early Deso and Blink and BKB and play defensive, then this hero is not going to do much, and that's why people below Ancient have a negative, less than 50% win rate on her, even though she's very strong. So another Invis rune. I'll try and get a gank here. It's not quite enough damage, but you know, no big deal. You know, whenever you're farming, just make sure you're cleaving. I should have more traps out than I do right now, but it's not a big deal. So this is just want to kill Ancients whenever you can. Some racism going on in all chat. Alright, so this is what I mean about melding up the cliffs. If you keep your meld up the cliff, you can sometimes hit people twice. It's going to do a lot of damage. But yeah, you know, I buy my Blink here. As I said before, it's good synergy because it lets you get in on people. It's a good escape with the refraction. See, I start the fight at the back. I kill the Rubik really fast. You basically want to be killing supports as TA. You're like, I mean, you are an assassin after all. You can kill anyone you want. Start with the supports. They have the best game impact to squishiness ratio because they're very squishy, but they have less game impact than cores. But you know, the ratio is such that, you know, a support will be 4 times easier to kill than a core, generally speaking, but he's going to have, you know, he's not going to have 4 times less game impact. He's going to have like maybe 1.5 times less. So you always want to kill supports first and offlaners. People who carry auras, stuff like that. And then, you know, rest of the game is just like, just more farming. Just make sure your CS is good. TA does Roche really easily. The Age is really good on TA as well because obviously she's a snowballer, doesn't want to die much. Just chase people down with the meld and the traps. You do a lot of natural damage with Deso. Just farm. You see, I'm constantly farming. Fighting in between the farm. A lot of people, what they do is they get ahead and then just stop farming. You want to keep farming, maintain your lead. You can front line pretty much with the refraction. You can go in pretty deep with the refraction and the blink. You know, like just constantly just throw out these traps that slow people. Yeah, I die here. Swap my item back in. Buy the BKB. I think we just end the game right here, actually. If I remember correctly. Maybe not, actually. You see, like, Rubik gets 3 shot. This is how you generally want to play, in and out. Make sure you don't die, don't do anything stupid. I get a DD here. Yeah. This was kind of a stomp, you know, and then the game just gets ended here. But, the point is, as you saw, the laning stage did not go so well. I played pretty poorly, you know. If you're really good, then you're going to be landing a lot of more CS than me. Past minute 10, I basically didn't do anything. I was actually top net worth either way, but, you know, like it's just steady farming, getting your items. Now, there are some things about that game that I'm not too proud of. I'm just going to show it really quickly in hero demo mode because I think it's worth saying. Hold up. This is not the map I want. I want the normal map, I think. I'm just going to turn the bots off, I think. And yeah, I think that's fine. So the main things that you did not see in that short game is, well, it's 2 things mainly. The first one is stacking ancients, and the second one would be just the general farm pattern, because I think I kind of skipped over that quite a lot. So I'm gonna do the start game. I think it's, yeah. So I'm just gonna skip to minute 00. So I guess I'll turn on WTF. So let's just say I'm just gonna buy Wraith Fan because why not? I know you're not supposed to buy Wraith Fan, but this is not a real game anyway. So obviously after you block, the main thing is about reading your enemy in the lane. So you level this first always, usually. Always usually. But your Q doesn't do much. And then it's about trying not to get the equilibrium too bad on your denies. And when you last hit, try not to hit things that, like, for example, this one. If I hit from the normal angle, it's going to hit into this creep, and it's going to push out the lane for no reason. And then you want to be reading where your opponent might be standing. You know, like, they're going to be wanting this creep, so you do this. You might get hit by the tower once on the return. You can tank a refraction. That's like a free lot of damage. You know, like, where would the opponent be right-clicking this creep from? Is he standing here? If he is, then move here, mirror his movement. If he's standing here, then, you know, you can last hit that creep with the splash from the refraction. Here, this is an opportunity for a double last hit if I did more damage. I mean, these creeps you always contest, because the thing about range creep is that heroes under 70 damage, they have to prep their range creep on the tower with 1 hit. So if you ever play a ranged hero against the if you ever play against the ranged hero as TA, you want to be pressuring them, because if they hit the creep, they get denied. If they don't hit the creep, they don't get the CS. And a lot of other mid heroes also do this, but TA is especially good at it, because the worst case scenario is that they use some spell and stun you on the tower or something like that. But TA doesn't really care, because, you know, the refraction is not, it doesn't have like a maximum damage it can absorb, so it's really strong in the early game especially. I'm just going to quickly do level up 3. And the reason for that is, first thing is, before, you can run over here and you can stack this camp at 53. And this stacked camp is going to be very useful because it's a lot of gold, and TA can farm it pretty efficiently as well because of kite, like, hit and run tactics. You don't want to get hit too much, and the refraction is going to help you whenever you do accidentally get hit. So, but like, generally speaking, laning is all about, first few levels, it's about getting harass off. TA is all about winning the harass trades, you know, like just constantly cleaving to your opponent, like here maybe, trying to shoot at them from fog. Just make sure, just zone them out away from you, because you're a melee hero essentially. Your only way to be ranged is to hit creeps, so you want to be constantly hitting creeps. And the thing is, TA plays pretty nicely under the tower, so, like, you know, if they're standing here to try and last hit creeps, you can ruin their last hits by hitting them in ways they don't expect. Alright, so after you push out away, what you want to do is you actually want to run over here. You want to be starting the run at around 47, so you get here at 53. And then you just want to run here, 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 here. And then you're gonna get back to lane without missing any CS. Always make sure you push out the lane before you do this. Push out the lane, and then you can even check the rune if it's like a 4-minute one afterwards, and then you can see that this camp is stacked. I'm just gonna quickly show you. Just gonna do level up 1 because alright. So here's how you farm a stacked camp as TA quickly. Firstly, if you have the Sonic Trap down, what you want to do is you want to drag the creeps out like this, and then you Sonic Trap so they take damage and they're slowed, which means they're going to walk towards you slow, and so they're going to be blocking each other for longer. Also, just drag the creeps out, walk backwards, and then just hit the creep that's closest to you so that it splashes everything. And the way you know where to walk and when to hit is look at the shape of the camp. This camp is like a C shape. You want to walk it so that it's perpendicular to the so just straight out, you know. You want to walk it so that straight out, and then this way the creeps are straight, and then turn around and hit. You know, can hit. I have smart attack on. I think it's pretty useful. You might not need it, but it's basically what I do is I right click and then I just A click here, and then that A click basically does the creep that's closest to me, which is always going to be the one I want to hit regardless. The other thing about farming camps is you want to be hitting creeps with low armor because, like I said before, the splash is based on armor. So like if I hit this creep, it does 79, but like if I hit this creep, it does 85. So it's going to be more DPS. This is not really relevant on this camp because the difference is only 1 and 0 armor. But on some camps, especially ancients, let me just quickly show you the difference. This creep has 8 armor, so it's going to be resisting 32%. This Thunderhide, if I can, oh my, if I can click on him, yeah, this Thunderhide is kind of your ideal target. It has 2 armor, so it's 10%, so it's 22% increase in farming speed. Yeah, or like just about, you know. Obviously, it's not going to be 22% exactly. The other thing I said I would mention is where to put your traps. You start with 5 traps possible. This is how I usually trap. 1 on each rune, so you can see the runes. 1 here, so you can see when the enemy is going to the jungle. And then usually I would put 1 like sort of here, just to check enemy ganks. But like, there's different spots if you want. You can have 1 in your ancients, like I said. You can have 1 in, if you're doing really well, I would trap this and this, so you can see when the enemy is doing their jungle camps. You can put 2 up here if you want, so you can double trap them. Just keep it the duration refresh. Thing about trap doing damage is if you stand within range, you can pop this trap and it's going to do damage to these camps, which makes them run out. Okay, so this is bugged obviously because I have WTF on, so this creep is constantly refreshing his frenzy. But as you can see, it stacks the camp if you stand within 1,300 range. If you stand too far away, the creeps do not aggro you. So like, let me just put a trap so you can see. Okay, so I trap, but I'm too far away, so the creeps are not running. You need to be like around here, and then if you trap, the creeps will run away. So that's an easy way to stack camps. You can also do the same here if you don't want to walk over. It's like a really nice way to get a lot of farm. And as for actually farming the ancients, it's going to be pretty much the same as farming the regular jungle camps. First, you want to give yourself a lot of time to do it by pushing out the wave because you don't want to miss last hits on the tower. The other thing you could do, I wouldn't recommend this, but you can do it, is you can just put down 2 traps, and then 2 traps will kill the full wave because it does 500 damage, and you know there's going to be a little bit of fighting, so you can do that. And then you know like, but it's not really reliable. Sometimes you get the last hit, sometimes you won't. Like see here, I get 1, but it's not great. For farming ancients, you need level 7 and probably power treads, but I'm just going to do it without. So what you do is, firstly, I'm going to un-WTF because that's really annoying. You want to drag them out so that they go here. You can see how many hits I'm taking. Again, you want to be hitting this Thunderhide as much as it's possible. And then when there's like 2 creeps left, you can do like that, and then you can refresh your thing. You can throw in some meld strikes if you want, but it's 50 mana, might not be that efficient. But like you see, I'm like just level 90 here, just farm that in maybe 20 seconds. It's so much gold. If you have time, you can run over here. You know, you can kill this camp, or you can start to kill this camp. And then whenever you're in this sort of situation, you can stack this camp as well. So like now what you can do is you can do a trap here, and then as you're farming this, you know, like maybe you're going to be low after those ancients because it's going to be a bigger stack than what I showed you. Put this back, use your trap here. It's going to do a bit of damage. It's going to slow them, so it's easier to cleave into. And then it's just about practicing your cleave, basically. Maybe get into a lobby, see how you can cleave into the creeps. You know, stuff like that. Now, the other thing I do want to mention is that you can dodge spells with Meld, so sometimes you can do some cool plays with that. And the other cool play you could do is level up 25, 254. This is the talent build, by the way. I'll show you the build path, actually. You go, well, you get attack speed. I usually take the movement speed because this doesn't really do anything. And then this is like a toss-up. I usually take this one, but this one has its uses. Like, if you're against some DOT damage, like Ogre or some shit like that, you want to cheaply dispel it without using a BKB, it's nice. It also removes dust. So, you know, sometimes you can make some cool plays with it. And this is a really strong level 25 talent. It's a BKB piercing stun for 1.5 seconds, and it lets TA insta-give people on a 6-second cooldown. Really, really fucking strong spell. Like, I mean, talent. You always take this one. The other one's actually really good, but this talent is just like absolutely absurd. It's insane, actually. Oh, and the other trap you want to do is if you're playing against like Urs or something, just trap Roche or like Huskar. You know, the build path for TA is I recommend using the the Immortal Faith guide. I'm just gonna show you real quick what I would do. For me, it's E first. So it's E, Q, Q, because the Q scale is the best. One more level in E, because having 2 levels in this is actually pretty useful because you know, like you start to have a reasonable attack range with 2 levels in this. Plus, you're not really going to be leveling Meld with 1 level in this, because with 1 level in this, the Meld is like really hard to land. Then you want to go Q again, R, Q, and then from this point onwards, I usually do the WW talent WW, and then you max your E or whatever. Just keep your E at 2. Basically, it's 2 points in E, max Q first, then max your Meld, you know, and take talents whenever you can. As for the item build in general, I already mentioned it's 2 Wraith Fans into Treads. This is your early game build. I'm just going to do gold 999 so I can buy everything. You're going to be throwing some clarities in as well. Let's say 4 clarities, generally how many you're going to buy. Maybe like a raindrop if you're against some sort of hard lane. Magic stick if you're against some sort of sustain lane. Then Deso always. Blink or BKB? It depends. Blink is more of like an aggressive killing initiating item. BKB is like a defensive item if you're against some sort of, you know, like a lot of stuns. Next up, Hurricane Pike is a good item. It increases your range. It gives you an easy mobility item. This is really good synergy with Slardar. You know, TA and Slardar is already pretty good together because minus armor. Slardar reveals the hero. You can pike them. You can hit them 4 times for free. There's also Bloodthorn Nullifier. I think everyone knows about this, you know, combo. You use both on people, they instantly die. It helps TA assassinate heroes. Daedalus, really good item, big attack damage. Butterfly, really good. I wouldn't recommend these though. The Assault Cuirass is kind of bad because you don't really take damage on TA because of refraction. And if you do take damage, you get locked down and you die anyway. Lincoln Sphere is okay, but usually it's too defensive. Manta, you know, not great really. Ags is really bad. I would not recommend this. And the main item that isn't on this build that I think is really strong and potentially underrated is Cypher Vice, because this gives you a lot of mana and it's a 3.5 second, you know, straight up disable, and it's so much cheaper than these two. And the Nullifier is slow. This is like an instant cast. It's just really strong when you're ahead. If you're snowballing really hard, you can go Deso, Blink, Cypher Vice. If you want to pick off people like an Ember Spirit, a Storm Spirit, you need some sort of disable. This is a really, really good item. I recommend it thoroughly. You know, but it's up to personal preference. Maybe you prefer the Bloodthorn build. Some people prefer the Daedalus build. Other people I know like Skadi to chase with, Hurricane Pike. I don't really like Hurricane Pike. There's like MKB you can buy as well. But just experiment, see what works for you. But don't buy Ags, don't buy Assault Cuirass. Those are actually bad. And don't get this item either. The Manta, I mean, not the. Well, don't get Yashikaya anyway, as well. So I think that's pretty much it. When you have more traps out, something you can do. This is the final thing I'm going to say. When you have a lot more traps out with more levels in this, you can you can put up some traps in some places. You can put down 2 traps here, or like 3 traps here maybe, and then when the wave starts to push in, you know, you press this twice and it farms a wave. So like, say your team are trying to push mid and you guys are playing aggressive mid lane, it doesn't hurt to just walk bot real quick and then just place down like, just like trap this, like trap like that, yeah. And then you guys can push mid, and if they split push, you know, as the split push comes in, you just pop some traps, you know, it's gonna kill the waves. The trap damage doesn't stack, by the way, so make sure that you lay them a little bit apart. So you see this one runs out, and then I do the new one. It's also really good for on the opposite end. If you're getting pushed hard, you can, like, if you're losing the game, for example, you can like put down 2 traps here. Probably not going to get there, but you can put down like 2 traps here, you know, as they're pushing your high ground. You can walk up and cleave it to death with like your Hurricane Pike or your blink. You blink in, kill the creeps, Hurricane Pike back, and then you do, and then, you know, you're going to have your backdoor back. So this is a really strong spell. Obviously it's good for chasing. One nice thing, if you're split pushing, put a trap on their shrine. It's basically like a ward. You know, like say I'm split pushing here. Say I'm split pushing this tower. You know, I'm gonna put one trap here so they can't TP in on me, and I can see if they're gonna go here. It's just a really versatile spell. This is I don't know. It's something you have to just experiment with. It's really easy actually if you play Pulse 5 to any degree, because you basically want to use it as a ward. Except, you know, you can also split push and deny split push with it. So that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, just leave them. And the thing about TA is it really is practice makes perfect. I have 300 games. All the fucking time I miss my meld strikes. I'll do like a blink and then a meld and I'll panic and I'll misclick, you know, like you have to be pretty precise with it. You need to know your range. But like you can see, like it's not always so easy to land those meld strikes. A lot of the times, you know, you're gonna blink in, you're gonna misclick stuff. You're gonna like panic press your Hurricane Pike, you're gonna miss traps, you're gonna press the wrong button. So you see, this is what I mean about the trap. The like if you want to use this one, you accidentally misclick this one. But yeah, so you just practice. The cleave, you know, is sometimes hard to get. But you see, like this looks pretty easy, right? But this is hundreds of games later. At first, you know, I was just hitting one creep at once all the time. Just make sure you hit 2 creeps at the same time all the time if you can. See here. Try and hit the creeps with less armor. This dragon has like -1 armor, I think, and this dragon has 6 armor. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. As for team fights, just one last closing thought. You might be thinking, should I be playing TA as like an assassin? You know, just running around, chasing people around the map? I mean, not really. You just want to be farming jungle camps, and then if you see something happening, you know, like let's say some supporters here, and you have a trap out already, you can do like this, and then, you know, kill them like that. But as TA, your goal is to have above 10 CS a minute all the time, because if you start to fall behind and you start dying for no reason, going for hard kills, this hero just falls off completely. If they can start buying Heaven's Halberds and like Crimson Guards, this hero will do nothing. You need to build a lead with efficient farming. You need to keep a lead with smart play, defensive play as well. Only go for kills you can get. You know, don't when you're playing mid TA, never ever just fucking like, oh, some shit's going down bot, I'm just gonna TP in, because this is so bad. You're not gonna have your blink because it's early game. You're not gonna have Pike, obviously. You're just gonna run in. Like this isn't gonna do anything, and you farm so much faster in the jungle. Like when you play TA, you pretty much admit, yes, my side lanes are going to get ganked. Yeah, I can't do anything about it. Later on, you can come with Death Zone and help them out. Just keep your eyes on the prize. Make sure you get 100 last hits in minute 10. Make sure you have 220, stuff like that. Try to die less than like 5 times a game, always. Don't be scared to press BKB. This is a mistake I see people make all the time. When you buy BKB, just use it. If you want to kill like a lion, just a solo lion, I would press BKB for it. Even like a 10-second BKB, I would press it. Because if there's even like a 10% chance you die to the lion, it's worth a BKB charge. Because that 10% chance, that will actually just ruin your game. So yeah, it's a high skill cap hero. It's high risk, high reward. You're gonna get punished. There's gonna be games where you have nothing and you're gonna have a hard lane, but just keep practicing, and it's gonna be really rewarding, because at the end of the day, this is really fun. You know, you can blow up supports in half a second. In the late game, you have this crazy bash. When you have your Bloodthorn Nullifier, you can also blow people up. It's really fun to use traps and run around the map farming really fast. Zero always does well in lane, even against counters like Huskar, Viper. You can just jungle instead. You probably outfarm them. So that's pretty much it. If you enjoyed, like, share, subscribe, hit the bell, you know, subscribe to my Patreon, all that shit. And leave any suggestions, comments, whatever. And I guess next episode, if there's no user requests, we're gonna have Sand King Guide Part 2 with some more gameplay examples. But maybe we'll have TA Part 2 and I'll show you some common lane matchups and how you should play them. But anyway, adios, good luck.